We have Financial Wellness Manager Collin Martin and Risk Specialist Erin Supinsky. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
How
Thanks
are
for
you
having
guys?
us on again.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving. It's right around the corner.
You
Yeah,
guys
it
all
is.
ready for Thanksgiving?
Of
Yeah.
course. Yep. I'm ready for mashed potatoes and pumpkin pie, and that's it. That's all I
Those are your two?
They are.
How about you, Collin?
So it's actually my anniversary also. So
Really?
we're going to be probably trying to get some Chinese takeout and
Really?
just spending time together. Yep.
I love to hear that.
Yep.
That's
Yeah.
wonderful.
Wow, that's odd, getting married on Thanksgiving.
You know, it's a good idea, actually.
It is.
I'm
Yeah,
sure.
Good family time.
Awesome.
Very
Nice.
thankful.
So today we're talking about online banking a little bit, and tell us a little bit about why online banking is important.
Yeah, so it really helps be able to track your funds at a moment's notice. So the feeling when you get to a register to go check out and your card's declined, just your heart drops.
Even if there's, even if it was supposed to work.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know that does happen from time to time, and that's really to prevent that fraud from happening,
Sure.
especially if you have the funds ready available for you. But it really helps you manage how much you're spending and make sure you have the money and the funds in your account prior to spending them. Because if you don't, then there's sometimes fees attached to that overdraft or the declining of that card.
Yeah.
What are some features of online banking that can help you with financial security?
Yeah, so you can set alerts based on transactions, and you can also do card controls where you can lock your card. So say you are at the gas station and you have to leave your card behind when you're checking out, you can actually lock your card in the event that you don't know where it is, or maybe it's not a card that you use regularly. And you just have it to maintain that credit history. You can use it to lock it in the moment's notice. So if you're not going to be using it for a while, or you're going on vacation and leaving it behind, if someone does happen to get a hold of that, they can't use it. It was just locked and will always
Have you ever
decline.
done that?
I've done all of those things. Yeah. How can using online banking help you achieve some of your financial goals?
Yeah, it helps you watch out for fraud, for
Sure.
one. You know, should be talking about fraud, but really, when you're looking at your financial goals, at a snapshot, you can see how much money you're putting in your savings, how much money you have you're spending, and you can really separate it and make sure that you're setting yourself up to reach those goals long term by separating the funds and keeping an eye on them and watching them grow. And it helps you reach your goals. And when you do hit those smaller milestones, reward yourself. Take yourself out to dinner, splurge a little bit, right? But it helps you stay on track, and it helps the reward system really helps you stay focused on that goal and reaching those.
Time of year, we want to make sure we hang on to the money that is rightfully ours, but people are out looking for it.
Very much so.
Fraudsters.
It's that time of the year. I mean, they have to buy their presents too, right?
Yeah, that's right. So what's a money mule or a money donkey? That we were saying money donkey this morning in our production meeting, but a money mule. What is a money mule?
Yep, a money mule is a term. It's used to describe somebody who participates knowingly or unknowingly in a scam to help move funds on behalf of another person, illicit funds specifically. So a lot of people do not know that they're acting in this capacity because you can be targeted by scams both to get your money that's rightfully yours out of your bank account or to move that money on behalf of someone else, which is where we see when someone wants you to receive a wire because you've got a new job and you need to purchase all this equipment. So they'll wire you the funds and just send the rest back to them. And they're really trying to use your account to wash those funds, and you're acting as a money mule because you are moving that account or moving that money from one point to another.
In that case, you may not even have had a new employer. So it's just,
Yes.
you know, when those red flags happen and they
Yep.
don't really add up, it's really something that you should be thinking, like, this doesn't make sense. Nobody's going to send me money and then ask for it back.
Yeah.
Oftentimes victims of romance scams as well, when you
Yeah.
have an online love interest who just is there, they can't meet you, they can't come in person, but can you please help them move this money? They don't have access to it. They're trying to use you as a money mule to move money from one point to another.
What about bad checks? That we do have people out there writing bad checks.
Of course, yes, and that's also something you'll receive as a victim of a scam sometimes. You'll receive a check that you're encouraged to negotiate into your account, and turns out that that check actually is bad.
Okay.
So you might get the funds after holds clear, and you may send them back, and then that check comes back, and that's important because you negotiated it through your own bank account, which means you are then liable for that check. You can come into some legal issues. You can have issues with your current account where you negotiated the check, or future accounts or services at your bank or other banks. You can really get a lot of unfortunate circumstances from trying to pass a bad check through your account. Even if you don't know that you're a target of a scam, you're going to be seeing those repercussions.
I think that's why
Remember,
we've strayed away from using checks. I
Yes.
mean, there's just a
Sure.
lot of fraud, and they use it like washing checks where they'll take an actual check and then change out names or
Right.
stuff on it to then make it so it looks legitimate, but it's really not. So then when you are given it, you try to cash it and give them the money out of it, and ultimately you're liable for that.
Can the computers, you scan the checks when you make a deposit, can they pick up money washing, they erase something?
Sometimes, but they've gotten really good at it. And so on checks, you have your routing number and your account number. So ultimately, they have the information they need to even create bad checks. So you can go to a different place or order them online, even where if you have that information, you can get checks drawn off of another account. So the fraud associated with checks alone is really why you see that transition away from using those paper checks.
Something I've seen recently, and I know you both are familiar with this, are like fake Venmos or fake Cash Apps where, say, it's like someone sets up a Venmo for Erin's Pug Rescue and then gets all your contacts and asks for donations. That's something you need to watch out for as well.
Yes, you can put whatever you want as your username on most of these sites.
Sure.
So you can make it look like a lot of different things, and people know that. And that social engineering, they know their victims, they know what pulls at heartstrings and what's going to speak to people in order to kind of entice them out of their funds.
Remember Robinson's Party Store? Bruce would tape up all the bad checks that people
wall of shame.
That was
Yes.
cool.
Yeah.
That
you
was
don't
cool.
want to be on that.
That's a repercussion you may face.
That's right.
Yeah, you end up on the wall.
Well, you don't see that anymore.
Well, I don't think gas stations take checks anymore, do they?
Rightfully so.
Yeah, I
No, they
wouldn't.
don't.
Man, I think...
I even remember in the early 90s, late 80s, I remember being with my mom, your wife, at the grocery store, and you had to even ask, like, hey, can I use a check?
Yep.
And sometimes they would, and sometimes they wouldn't.
Yeah.
So.
Yep. There's a lot of trust associated with the use of checks and receiving them. So even one bad check can completely break that trust with a business or with your financial institution where you might not be able to use them anymore.
Have you ever written a check?
I have, and I'm bad at it because I always mess up. So, yeah, I have written one or two checks.
One for financial well-being, when you write a check, that money doesn't clear your account right away either.
Sure.
So if you're waiting for that check to clear, and sometimes, they have a decent amount of time, I think it's up to 6 months sometimes to clear that check. And if they don't cash that check, then that money is just kind of sitting out there waiting to clear your account. And then in the meantime, you could be spending money somewhere else. And then ultimately, you're going to be facing a bad check when they try to clear that check and there's not the funds there available for it.
Well, it's nice to have you two on our side and on the community side, and you can learn more about the fraud fighters and help protect yourself. Visit thefraudfighters.org. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you.
Thank you guys.
Good to see you. Happy Thanksgiving, and we'll see you guys after the holiday break, I'm sure.
Sounds good.
Collin Martin and Erin Supinsky from American One. More of the show right after this.